The band, formerly known as Lady Antebellum, has filed a lawsuit against blues singer Anita White, who's known by her stage name Lady A. Lady Antebellum recently changed its name to Lady A for reasons we're gonna discuss in this video. But Lady A, the blues singer, says the band's use will cause her damage and she should be compensated. Now, although the parties were in discussions about coexisting and both using the name, the parties were unable to reach terms, so Lady A, the band, has now filed a lawsuit in a federal court asking the court to rule that the band has the right to use the name based on a 2010 trademark registration. In this video, we're going to discuss the details of the dispute as well as the trademark issues that are in this case so you can learn to think like a lawyer. Hi guys, I'm Miss Crystal. I'm an entertainment attorney, public speaker, and author of How to Keep Your Dukes Up in the Music Business. I'm the owner of Dukes Up Records, and most importantly, I'm an independent musician. Be sure to subscribe and turn on those bell notifications to get more videos so you can think like a top music attorney. And if you want to learn more about trademarks, be sure to sign up to be on our email list and you will get a free guide on branding and trademarks to help you with your business and music career. So if you want to learn more about the Lady A dispute and trademark issues in that case, then keep on watching. This all started on June 11th, 2020 when Lady Antebellum announced plans to change its name to Lady A on its Instagram channel, acknowledging the connection with the word antebellum and slavery in light of the Black Lives Matter movement. The post stated, quote, "When we set out together almost 14 years ago, we named our band after the Southern antebellum style home where we took our first photos. As musicians, it reminded us of all the music born in the South that influenced us. We did not take into account the associations that weigh down this word, referring to the period of history before the Civil War, which included slavery. We are deeply sorry for the hurt this has caused and for anyone who has felt unsafe, unseen, or unvalued. Causing pain was never our heart's intention, but it doesn't change the fact that indeed, it did." The following day, on June 12th, blues singer Anita White spoke with Rolling Stone magazine saying she had been using the name Lady A for the past 20 years. In the interview, Anita White seemed upset, but 3 days later, the band Lady A posted a screenshot of a video chat with Anita White saying, "We are excited to share we are moving forward with positive solutions and common ground. The hurt is turning into hope. More to come." Anita White was also reported as posting the screenshot to her account, so it seemed like the parties were making some headway. The parties were in discussion regarding what's called a coexistence agreement, which is basically an agreement that would allow both musical groups to use the same name, subject to certain terms. As part of those discussions, Anita White requested $10 million in compensation, $5 million of which would go towards her rebranding without the help of a big label, and $5 million towards various organizations that provide support to other independent Black artists. Discussions quickly broke down thereafter, however, and Lady A, the band, was reported as saying, "We hope Anita and the advisors she's now listening to will change their minds about their approach. We can do so much more together than in this dispute." Anita White explained in a different interview that she believed the band, quote, "always knew what they were going to do," and that the first coexistence agreement draft that they had sent her had, quote, "no substance." Anita White further stated that she is not going to be erased. Lady A, the band, then filed a lawsuit against Anita White in Nashville's District Court, which is a federal court. The band is seeking to have the court order that the band has the right to continue using the name, as the band has owned the trademarks for the name since 2010. The band states that it does not want Anita White to stop using Lady A, and it's not seeking damages either, but states it just wants the trademark for Lady A to be approved for continued use by the band. So, this is where we are right now in this case. And now, the fun part, where you get to think like a top music attorney. According to the USPTO, which is the United States Patent and Trademark Office, Lady A, the band, has held the trademark registrations for Lady A since 2010 as it relates to live performances, musical compositions, and merchandise. Pursuant to trademark law, however, just because someone has a trademark registration doesn't mean that they necessarily have superior rights to someone else. What happens is that under common law, even if someone doesn't have a trademark registration, they might still have superior use because maybe they started using the mark earlier in time. So based on the reports that we've heard thus far, Anita White claims that she's been using the mark for the last 20 years, so since early 2000. The band claims, of course, pursuant to its registrations, it's had these valid registrations since 2010. So this may come down to Anita White needing to prove that she's been using the mark for a longer period of time, and therefore she has a superior claim to use and exclusive right to the trademark. Now, there are a few points of criticism that I've been reading while researching this story. One of the criticisms has to do with the fact that the $10 million request by Anita White seems like a money grab. Well, it might be a little bit of an outrageous request based on the circumstances. However, the important part here is that if someone has a superior right, an exclusive right to use a certain trademark, well, unfortunately, they have the ability to request whatever they think is fair in order for someone else to be able to use that name. And typically when it comes to just general negotiation practices, we have a tendency to start a lot higher than where we actually want to land by the end of the negotiations, just because that's what happens. It's a negotiation. So it doesn't mean that ultimately that's the number that Anita White would have settled with, but obviously it was a deal breaker in this case. The other consideration has to do with the fact that she is a lot smaller of an artist as far as fan following and notoriety. So to her claim, she's concerned that if a massive, well-established band starts using this name, the legacy will ultimately, and the connection between the name Lady A will go to the band. So for all those reasons, that's why it is fair to request compensation as part of these coexistence agreement where someone else may ultimately end up having that legacy and that connection with that name. Another point of interest has to do with the actual trademark applications that are filed with the USPTO. On the applications, the applicant has to give sworn testimony saying that they're not aware of anyone else who is currently using a certain mark in the marketplace. So as part of the band's applications for the name Lady A, they had to avow, pursuant to the application, that they have the exclusive right and they're not aware of anyone else out in the open marketplace. So as part of this case, a part of the analysis is likely going to be, was the band aware that Anita White was using the name Lady A when they filed? Another point of criticism is that the optics do not look good for the band. And the public has criticized that the band could have changed its name to anything, but decided to go with a nickname given by its fans, Lady A, and to now file a lawsuit against Anita White, which at best confuses the message of why the band changed its name in the first place. Look, as a trademark attorney, I can definitely see that the band has trademark rights. That's the purpose of these registrations through the USPTO. But it doesn't mean that Anita White doesn't also have rights, or that maybe her rights are superior or trump the band's rights. So this is going to be a very interesting case to continue watching. So if you were the attorney for Anita White and you were given this particular case, what would you advise her to do? If you guys liked the music that played throughout this video, or maybe you want to check out something a little more in the dark pop vibe, be sure to check out my music by searching Miss Crystal on Spotify as well as all other music platforms. Be sure to come say hi on social media. I'm definitely the most active on Instagram, and it's been amazing to meet you guys. I'm gonna get out of here, but before I do, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, turn on those bell notifications so you won't miss our weekly videos, and I'll see you on the next one. I'm Miss Crystal. Bye.